Okay, so welcome everybody. Today's topic is basically how do we make Made for Joy a profitable business in the realms of VR and all that that has to offer. So in terms of marketing the seeds of joy and finding investors who may not be familiar with the compelling reasons virtual reality is even a thing, I would just like to present a few motivating elements that may help consolidate a broader approach to what is possible. Among the obvious products being created are this wonderful series of antidotes presented as the seeds of joy. Now, Jack and Emiliana appear to have carefully selected a growing team of talented individuals who have come together around a most serendipitous moment in human history. It's clearly a time when technological advancements have opened a doorway and a window into a unique, international, and borderless parallel universe, a boundless virtual reality of unknown potential and dimensions. It has none of the constraints of typical bricks and mortar structures or travel-based communication venues. Phrases from the lyrics and writings of our artists and visionaries in recent history have spoken of such things as thinking is the best way to travel, or not blaming institutions but rather freeing your mind instead. And of course, all you need is love. In this case, we're talking about all you need is joy. The revolution of virtual spaces presents us quite immediately with a direct communication presence and spatial awareness that is as uncanny as it is a practical and predictable consequence of science fiction's preconceptualization of holodecks and instant teleportation. It's an exciting time. The Made for Joy team may seem somewhat fledgling at its inception, but it has actually become an ant colony of unidirectional creative activity around the common goal of transforming moods and emotional responses into the revelations of joy through a number of different approaches. Each seed of joy is a scientifically guided antidote to a variety of conditions and frailties that often compromise the human experience and limit its capacity to find clarity and well-being. They say it's never good to put the cart before the horse, but in virtual reality, all things seem suddenly plausible. The team appears to be fulfilling the development of the seeds of joy from multiple angles, scientifically, artistically, and most importantly, from a secular and diverse philosophical perspective. So far, in fairly short order, we are beginning to see a pattern of developments indicating a diverse number of delivery systems for packaging sessions, workshops, and experientials that have market potential. Among many options, we are primarily seeing three multi-user approaches becoming clear. Number one, the guided meditation antidote through the Engage platform. Number two, the self-guided Arc of Joy Continuum on the AltSpace platform. And number three, also on the AltSpace VR platform, is the Shakwa Heartland, which is being designed to present a number of VR resort complexes where people can have a one-on-one, in-resident, and scheduled virtual reality with personal trainers, workshops, and sessions. There is a fourth option arising simply from agreeing to use the Unity 3D gaming engine for staging, environments, models, animations, and sound production. This provides secure exclusivity to not only export and be independent from at least three of the most popular social VR platforms, but it also allows for the creation of exclusive apps that can be sold and installed directly onto Android-based virtual reality headsets. This accommodates those who prefer the privacy of solo sessions, and it is these apps that may also become something of a giveaway to be sold as part of a value-added seed package included with memberships. Each of these manifestations of the seeds of joy involves a specific user audience and monetization model to explore. Presumably, the first, the guided meditations, might be best suited to the pay-per-view or subscription-based model, as per Antidote offered. The second, the Arc of Joy Gateway and Continuum, might be presented in the context of membership only. This third option, Chakra Heartland, could potentially become the main revenue-generating arena where a Made-for-Joy community membership of people gradually evolves out of these initial and occasional VR users. This area would be populated with those who seek to enjoy a more community-based habitation of virtual spaces. It seems to be a common element of evolving virtual worlds since they first appeared, even before full 360 immersion. Second Life, Active Worlds, IMVU, these communities of the past, they developed a popularity and regular engagement as long as events were regular and consistently compelling. One of the visions here is that Made for Joy Incorporated hosts, promotes, and provides a financial framework whereby a team of people can each develop continuing programs exploring the seeds of joy and holding personal or group sessions, all the while adding to an archive of the seeds of joy assets via recordings, narratives, visual and animated sessions that can all be repurposed as applications or accessed elsewhere in the overall library of programs offered. Made for Joy Inc. and its investors could establish a 30% residual dividend or royalty from all content production presenters who independently use the platform to schedule events and one-on-one training sessions within the Chakra Heartland environment and elsewhere. Made for Joy Inc. could also field guest proposals from third parties wishing to utilize those environments or develop a custom seed asset. The target market for Made for Joy Inc. seems to be anyone or HR department needing an antidote for specific issues of moods, discontent, and malaise. The Seeds of Joy spreadsheet indicates a broad range of symptomology and in so doing defines the customer base and audience to be targeted. A popular business model for virtual worlds was made evident from the success of Second Life's internal virtual currency system, which relied on a very old-school optic used by county fairs and circuses. That is, that at the entry point, an initial charge of $25 provided the participant with $1,000 in virtual dollars that could be spent within the confines of that world. As an example, a participant might pay $300 VR dollars to be part of a group workshop of creativity. The session presenter would keep 70% and Made for Joy Inc. 30% plus any assets created at the time in terms of recordings and other content. Such a business model works because it gives virtual reality products and services a real-world monetary equivalency and a certain internal spending anonymity common to virtualities. It promotes a sustainable alternate economy for users to appreciate and content creators to monetize their efforts. Made for Joy Inc. could resell recorded assets, repurpose them, resell headsets preloaded with apps and assets, promote billboard kiosk advertisements for mindfulness events, products, and services within the virtual domain. Finally, I want to reiterate something I've learned from any number of virtual reality projects I've worked on. Regular promotion and scheduling of events is the only way virtual realities maintain a presence of participants. They will not succeed otherwise. The task at hand is also to acknowledge that event scheduling is a global 24-hour phenomenon and opportunity because of VR's borderless and global universe. A presenter might hold a morning session once every 8 hours worldwide. For the Australians and Far East, for the Europeans, and maybe 2 sessions for West and East coasts of North and South America. The potential audience base is vast, and of course people with multilingual skills will do even better. I also just want to mention the Mood Meter Gateway, which is a thing in itself. Right now it resides in separate staging areas. One is in a persistent Engage campus session, and the other is on the AltSpace VR platform. Nevertheless, it is a special area that may be the best regular entry point to the Made for Joy franchise. It represents the core science and a way to bookend all experiences with thoughtful pre- and post-analysis. As an entry point, it is a powerful place to consolidate and introduce the Made for Joy concepts. As I'm doing right now, it's a great place for various presentations and updates. I would suggest that one of the easiest draws people have to virtual worlds is seeing a number of people listed as being present in the world. If people with desktops would keep this world session open with their avatar present and audio up, minimized, then when anyone drops in, a representative from Made for Joy could be there to explain the programs available. This should be done theoretically in 4 or 8 hour shifts to find out who is out there and when to optimally hold events. Well, that's about it. I hope it's not been too long-winded and offers some help in defining what to bring to market and who the specific VR market is for Made for Joy.